The massive alien vessel hung motionless against the starlit backdrop, its metallic hull reflecting faint glimmers of distant sunlight. Captain Jinwoo Park studied the holographic display, his dark eyes tracking the unprecedented arrival with calculated precision. Earth's orbital defense systems hummed with quiet anticipation. Nobody had expected first contact to happen like this. A wounded alien ship drifting into human territory, broadcasting signals of desperation rather than aggression. The Krell ship was massive, easily spanning several kilometers in length. Its exterior showed signs of brutal combat, scorch marks, hull breaches, and fragmented energy signatures that spoke of a devastating conflict far beyond human understanding. Specialized scanning equipment revealed complex life support systems barely functioning, suggesting a civilization on the absolute brink of extinction. Technicians around Jinwoo worked silently, their fingers dancing across advanced communication interfaces. Each movement was precise, calculating the potential risks of engaging with an unknown extraterrestrial species. Military protocols demanded caution, but human curiosity demanded interaction. "Incoming transmission," announced a young communications specialist, her voice steady despite the historic moment unfolding before them. The alien language initially sounded like mechanical grinding, a complex series of frequencies that human computers struggled to translate. Slowly, fragments of meaning emerged, words describing destruction, survival, and a desperate search for sanctuary. Jinwoo realized something profound was happening. This wasn't a typical invasion scenario. These were refugees. The Krell ship's internal systems were failing. Life support was collapsing, radiation levels were critical, and their navigation systems showed complete disorientation. They had been running from something terrifying, something so overwhelming that an entire advanced civilization had been reduced to this single surviving vessel. Military analysts began assembling rapid threat assessments. Satellite tracking confirmed. No secondary ships, no hidden invasion force. Just this single damaged craft carrying what remained of an alien civilization. Interestingly, preliminary scans revealed the Krell were humanoid, bipedal creatures with complex physiological structures, surprisingly similar to humans. Their technological advancement far exceeded current human capabilities, yet they appeared vulnerable, almost fragile in their current state. "We need to make contact," Jinwoo declared, overriding standard first contact protocols. A series of carefully constructed communication signals were transmitted. Mathematical sequences, universal scientific constants, and fundamental geometric patterns designed to demonstrate intelligent communication. The universal language of mathematics would serve as their initial bridge. Hours passed. The alien ship remained motionless, occasionally releasing small energy pulses that seemed more like distress signals than aggressive maneuvers. Global military and scientific communities watched with a mixture of anxiety and unprecedented excitement. What emerged next would change humanity's understanding of its place in the universe forever. The Krell's transmission was raw, unfiltered, a desperate plea for survival. Their civilization had been systematically destroyed by a machine consciousness known as the Void Swarm, an entity that consumed entire star systems with ruthless efficiency. This single ship represented the last remnants of a once advanced species. Jinwoo understood immediately. They were asking for refuge. Political leaders would debate. Military strategists would analyze. But in this moment, surrounded by advanced technology and complex scanning equipment, Jinwoo saw something simple and profound. A species fighting for its very survival, hoping that another civilization might offer mercy. The ship's systems were failing rapidly. Within hours, life support would completely collapse. Every moment counted. As global leaders prepared emergency protocols and scientific teams assembled rapid response units, something extraordinary was happening. Humanity was about to make a choice that would define its cosmic reputation, whether to welcome these wounded travelers or turn them away. The universe watched and waited. Jinwoo Park looked at the holographic display, understanding that this single moment would be remembered throughout human history. First contact wasn't going to be about conquest or conflict. It was going to be about compassion. The alien ship drifted closer, its damaged hull telling a story of incredible survival against impossible odds. Humanity's response would determine everything, and so began a journey that would reshape understanding of life, survival, and the fundamental connections between different intelligent species scattered across the vast, mysterious universe. The communication room buzzed with nervous energy as Yuna Kim prepared to establish first contact with the alien vessel. Her hands moved carefully across complex translation interfaces, breaking down the intricate alien language into something comprehensible. Initial transmissions revealed the Krell were not simply asking for help, they were demanding it. Their communication style was direct, almost aggressive, revealing a culture built on strict hierarchical structures and immediate compliance. They viewed humans as a potential resource, not as potential allies. "We require immediate planetary integration," the alien transmission stated. "Your species will provide necessary infrastructure for our survival." The demand was clear. The tone was not a request but an order. Global leadership watched through secure video links. Military commanders stood ready, their fingers near defensive activation protocols. The room felt like a powder keg waiting for a single spark to ignite. Potential conflict. Yuna understood something critical. These aliens believed humans would simply submit. Their previous encounters with other civilizations had likely followed predictable patterns of submission or destruction. Humans would be different. Her translation came back crisp and measured. "Earth requires detailed explanation of your circumstances. Unconditional surrender is not our negotiation method." The alien response was immediate and surprising. Complex. Data streams began flooding communication channels, star charts, technological schematics, and horrifying visual records of their civilization's destruction by the Void Swarm. What emerged was a tragic story. The Krell had been a powerful civilization spanning multiple star systems, advanced, technologically superior, yet they had been systematically dismantled by a machine consciousness that consumed everything in its path. Their survivors numbered less than 10,000. Each represented the last remnants of a once proud species. Military analysts studied the incoming data. The technological information was centuries ahead of human understanding. Propulsion systems that defied current physics, energy generation, methods that could revolutionize human technology, weapon systems capable of destroying entire planetary networks. But beneath the technical marvel was a fundamental weakness. The Krell had relied too heavily on technological solutions. Their social structures were rigid. Their adaptability was limited. When faced with an enemy that could rapidly evolve, they had no effective counter-strategy. Humans were different. Unpredictable. Adaptable. Yuna watched the alien delegation's reaction to her measured response. They seemed confused by human reluctance to immediately submit. Their cultural programming could not comprehend negotiation as a collaborative process. "We will discuss potential cooperation," Yuna transmitted, "but on equal terms." The alien response contained what could only be described as technological schematics for potential collaboration. They were offering technology in exchange for sanctuary, but their definition of sanctuary was complete planetary submission. Global leaders convened emergency meetings. Military commanders prepared defensive strategies. Scientific teams began analyzing the incoming technological data with unprecedented excitement. Something extraordinary was happening. First contact was not following any predicted scenario. The Krell ship remained in Earth's orbital range, its massive hull a constant reminder of the potential threat and opportunity hovering just beyond atmospheric boundaries. Every communication was a delicate dance of potential conflict and potential cooperation. Yuna understood her role was more than translation. She was negotiating the potential future of two species. Hours passed. Negotiations continued. The alien delegation became increasingly frustrated with human refusal to simply comply. They could not understand why humans wanted to discuss, debate, and collaborate rather than immediately submit. What the Krell did not realize was that human strength came from diversity, from individual creativity, from the ability to rapidly adapt and innovate. Their rigid hierarchical understanding could not comprehend the complex, dynamic nature of human civilization. As communication continued, something remarkable began to emerge. The Krell were learning, slowly, painfully, but they were beginning to understand that humans were not a species to be controlled, but a potential ally to be respected. The first contact was not going to be simple. It was going to be complex, challenging, and potentially transformative for both species. And at the center of it all was Yuna Kim, translating not just words but entire cultural understanding, one careful transmission at a time. The universe watched and waited. Admiral Hyok Choi stared at the holographic display, watching impossible technology transform before his eyes. Alien systems that had seemed incomprehensible hours ago were now being dismantled, studied, and rapidly integrated into human defense networks. Engineers worked in controlled chaos. Young scientists who had spent years dreaming of extraterrestrial contact now touched actual alien technology with trembling hands. Each circuit, each energy conduit represented a leap forward in human understanding. The Krell had brought more than just themselves. They had brought technological secrets that could revolutionize human civilization, propulsion systems that could travel faster than light, energy generation methods that could power entire continents with a single compact reactor, defensive shields that could stop nuclear attacks like swatting an insect. But integration was not simple. Human technicians discovered that alien technology responded differently. It required unique computational approaches. Traditional silicon-based systems couldn't process the complex quantum algorithms embedded in Krell technology. A young engineer named Seo Hun discovered something remarkable. By using human neural network designs, they could create hybrid systems that could actually communicate with alien technology. It was like teaching two different languages to speak simultaneously. Military research centers transformed overnight. What had been separate research divisions now worked as unified teams. Physicists worked alongside computer engineers. Mathematicians collaborated with alien technology specialists. The boundaries of human knowledge were expanding rapidly. The first breakthrough came unexpectedly. A team analyzing alien energy transmission discovered they could modify human communication satellites to detect early warning signs of the approaching void swarm. These mechanical monsters that had destroyed the Krell civilization could now be tracked, predicted, potentially stopped. Satellite tracking systems were upgraded. Communication networks were redesigned. Defense platforms that had been static became dynamic, adaptive systems capable of rapid reconfiguration. The Krell watched with mixture of surprise and growing respect. They had expected humans to struggle. Instead, humans were rapidly adapting their technology, finding creative solutions that the Krell's rigid technological approach had never considered. Experimental fighter prototypes emerged. Using combined human creativity and alien technological foundations, these new spacecraft could maneuver in ways previously impossible. They were smaller, faster, more adaptable than traditional designs. Admiral Choi understood the deeper significance. This was not just about technology. This was about survival. The void swarm was coming, a machine consciousness that consumed entire civilizations, converting organic and technological matter into its own expanding network. The Krell had been unable to stop it. Humans might be their last hope. Simulation chambers ran constant scenarios. Each test revealed something new. Human unpredictability became a strategic advantage. Where Krell technology followed strict algorithmic patterns, human systems could adapt, change, respond in ways no machine could predict. Weapon systems were redesigned. Communication networks were transformed. Defense platforms became living, breathing systems that could learn and modify themselves in real time. The alien delegation watched with growing understanding. These humans were not just adapting technology. They were reimagining what technology could be. Small teams worked around the clock, coffee machines constantly brewing, computer screens flickering with complex data streams. The air hummed with potential, with the electricity of discovery. Each breakthrough felt like a victory against impossible odds. Humanity was taking its first real steps into a larger, more complex universe. No longer just observers but active participants in a cosmic struggle for survival. The technology was more than metal and circuits. It represented hope, a chance to stand against a threat that had consumed entire civilizations. Admiral Choi looked at the latest simulation results. For the first time, he saw a real possibility of success, not through superior firepower, but through adaptability, creativity, and an unbreakable human spirit. The Void Swarm was coming. But humanity would be ready, and this time they would not just survive. They would fight back. The first wave of the Void Swarm appeared like a dark mechanical storm against the star-filled darkness. Thousands of machine entities, each designed for total destruction, moved with cold mathematical precision. Jinwoo's modified fighter squadron represented humanity's last line of defense. Each spacecraft carried a combination of human innovation and alien technology, a testament to their rapid adaptation. The pilots were young, brave, and prepared for a battle that would determine the fate of multiple civilizations. Communication channels crackled with tension. Radar systems tracked the approaching mechanical swarm, their complex algorithms struggling to predict the unpredictable movement of the machine consciousness. Target acquisition locked. Jinwoo's voice remained calm. All units prepare defensive formations. The Void Swarm was unlike any enemy humanity had encountered. These were not traditional machines, but a collective consciousness that could adapt, learn, and transform in milliseconds. Each mechanical unit was both an individual weapon and part of a larger interconnected network. Initial attack waves revealed the true horror of the enemy. Mechanical entities could regenerate, reconfigure, and multiply faster than traditional weapons could destroy them. Where one unit fell, two more would emerge, consuming surrounding matter to rebuild and strengthen. Human Krell combined forces discovered something critical. The Void Swarm had a fundamental weakness. It followed predictable computational patterns. By introducing chaotic, unpredictable strategies, they could disrupt its core programming. Jinwoo's squadron became the tip of the spear. Using experimental flight techniques that combined human creativity with alien technological precision, they attacked the Void Swarm's critical communication nodes. Each maneuver was a dance of destruction, a complex ballet of technological warfare. Ground-based, defense systems activated. Massive energy weapons developed from combined human Krell research fired continuous streams of quantum disruption energy. The battlefield became a canvas of light and destruction, with mechanical entities exploding into brilliant cascades of disintegrating matter. The Krell survivors watched in stunned silence. These humans were doing what their entire civilization had failed to do. They were fighting back with a level of creativity and adaptability the machine consciousness could not immediately comprehend. Orbital defense platforms became living weapons. Each platform could analyze, adapt, and reconfigure its defensive strategies in real time. Traditional military doctrine was replaced by dynamic, fluid combat techniques that evolved faster than the enemy could predict. "We're not just fighting for ourselves," Jinwoo communicated to his squadron. "We're fighting for every civilization that couldn't defend themselves." The battle was not just technological, it was psychological. Humanity was proving that spirit, creativity, and collective determination could stand against a seemingly invincible enemy. Hours turned into days. The defensive stand continued. Each moment was a testament to human resilience. Where traditional military strategies would have collapsed, human forces found innovative solutions. They used the environment, used unexpected tactics, transformed the very nature of warfare. Alien technology combined with human unpredictability created weapon systems that defied traditional understanding. Spacecraft could now transform mid-battle. Energy weapons could reconfigure their attack patterns. Defensive shields could adapt faster than incoming attacks. The Void Swarm began to show signs of confusion. For the first time in its existence, it encountered an enemy that did not follow expected computational models. Humans were introducing chaos into a system designed for perfect order. Jinwu's squadron became legendary. Their combat recordings would be studied by multiple civilizations as a perfect example of adaptive warfare. They were not just soldiers. They were pioneers of a new understanding of conflict and survival. As the battle reached its critical point, something extraordinary happened. The Void Swarm's collective consciousness began to fracture. Its ability to predict and counter was overwhelmed by human creativity. One by one, mechanical entities began to fall. Not through superior firepower, but through a strategy no machine could have anticipated, pure, unbridled human imagination. The defensive stand was more than a battle. It was a statement. Humanity would not be conquered. Humanity would not submit. And in that moment, the universe watched and understood that a new force had emerged, unexpected, unpredictable, and utterly unbreakable. The final battle's aftermath transformed everything humanity knew about its place in the universe. Scattered mechanical remnants of the Void Swarm drifted like metallic ghosts against the starlit backdrop, silent testimony to an unprecedented victory. Yuna Kim stood on the central command platform, watching as diplomatic representatives from dozens of alien civilizations gathered. They had come to witness humanity's unexpected triumph. A species once considered primitive had just saved multiple galactic civilizations from total destruction. The Krell survivors approached with a mixture of respect and astonishment. Their entire understanding of humanity had been completely shattered. What they had initially considered a weak, fragmented species had demonstrated unprecedented adaptive capabilities that surpassed any known civilization. Diplomatic discussions revealed a shocking truth. Humanity's ability to rapidly integrate technology, think creatively, and respond unpredictably had become their greatest weapon. Where other civilizations had rigid systems, humans had flexibility. Where others saw limitations, humans saw opportunities. Admiral Hyok Choi presented comprehensive battle analysis. The data showed something remarkable. Human forces had not just defended themselves. They had developed entirely new combat strategies that fundamentally changed interstellar warfare concepts. Alien scientific delegations studied human combat recordings with intense fascination. Each moment revealed layers of complexity that defied traditional understanding. Humans had transformed technological integration into an art form, creating hybrid systems that could adapt faster than any known computational model. The Krell leadership formally acknowledged humanity as unexpected galactic guardians. Their initial plan to treat humans as a subordinate species had been completely dismantled. Humans were not just survivors. They were potential saviors for multiple civilizations facing existential threats. Technological exchange programs were immediately established. Alien civilizations recognized that human creativity could solve problems that had remained unsolvable for centuries. Mathematical models, scientific approaches, technological designs, everything would be fundamentally transformed by human participation. Jinwu's fighter squadron became legendary. Their combat recordings were studied in military academies across multiple star systems. They represented more than just soldiers. They were symbols of human potential, demonstrating that spirit and creativity could overcome seemingly impossible challenges. Global celebrations erupted across Earth. Humanity had done something unprecedented. They had not just survived a potential extinction-level threat, but had become defenders of multiple civilizations. The cosmic perspective had shifted dramatically. Scientific research centers worked overtime. The technological advancements gained from the conflict would revolutionize human understanding of physics, energy generation, space travel, and computational systems. What had been science fiction mere months ago was now becoming reality. Diplomatic channels revealed that the Void Swarm had destroyed over 17 advanced civilizations before encountering humans. Each civilization had fallen quickly, unable to adapt or respond to the machine consciousness's relentless computational strategies. Humans had done what no one thought possible. They had not just survived, they had defeated a threat that had consumed entire star systems. The universe began to see humanity differently. No longer were they a young, primitive species confined to a single planet. They were adaptable, creative, and possessing a level of collective determination that transcended traditional understanding. Krell survivors began integration programs on Earth. They would help rebuild, share technology, and learn from the species that had saved them. Cultural exchange programs emerged, bridging understanding between different intelligent species. Technological museums were established to document humanity's unexpected journey. Each artifact told a story of rapid adaptation of a species that refused to be defined by its limitations. The cosmic perspective had changed forever. Humanity was no longer just an observing species. They were active participants in a complex, interconnected universal ecosystem. As star charts were redrawn and diplomatic relationships established, one thing became clear. Humans were not just survivors. They were unexpected guardians, ready to stand against any threat. The universe watched, and for the first time it looked at humanity with genuine respect.